welcome back to Empyrion Galactical Survival. Okay, as per the last part, this is going to be a building episode again. So just forewarn you so that you know you might not like it, then you don't have to sit through this to wait until the action comes. This is mainly going to be a bit more building on the capital vessel that we started off in the last part, and I really started to enjoy. Let me just give you a quick tour of the additions I've made. The additions. How much I did some work offline. Okay, let me start again. I did some work offline. So let me just show you. I believe I didn't have the turrets set at the time, so I've set the turrets up now, so they're here. Well, actually, coming to think back, in the last part I forgot, or I stupidly created a small generator small generator which is not available for capital vessels. So I went back. We obviously built already a little bit, but I went back and I have built the large generator, filled everything in here, as you can see. So we do have gravity here now as well, we can actually walk on. So that makes it a little bit easier if we are walking around in the area here. So that's that update. So everything is here, fridges, the constructors, power, RCS and so forth. Everything is, the gravity generator. This red block here is actually where the core is, so I've put a red block on there just to remind me that's the core, do not remove it. And it sort of gives me an idea as well where the middle is. So this is the front part of the ship. I'm going to show it to you from the outside as well. Now this is going to be mainly here a quite large sort of cargo area, I would say. Yeah, a cargo area. Cargo area and ships combined. So how that's going to look in further on, not sure yet, but we will get some idea when we get closer to having finished this build. Sort of the outsides from the ship, and then we can always work on the interior. So this is what I've done offline. As you can see, it's quite large. It took me actually a good 20 minutes to find this ship again. It's a bit frustrating, and I don't know why they haven't updated this yet in Empyrion to when you actually leave the orbit, that it gives you some kind of sign where your vessel is, or your base in that instance. So it's a bit, I find a bit frustrating, because you really have to always think, okay, where did I place this thing? Then you have to fly around for a little bit. So maybe would have placed it maybe a bit closer to the orbit from one of the planets would maybe have been better, but it's too late now. So I just have to remember. Hopefully we don't have to go back too often. So let me just show you what it looks like from the front. So I've closed it all out. So this is what it's looking like from the front. And as I've mentioned in the last video, the idea is to get like 3 decks. So this is the first deck here, this one here, which will be all the way through to the end, the cargo and the hangar. On top of that, in the same shape but just a little bit smaller, so like this, we would have on the second level, we will have the quarters, i.e. where people can basically sleep, eat, the farm and so forth. That is all going to be in the second level. And then on the third level we're going to have the cockpit of the ship, and that's going to be again in the same V kind of shape on top of the other V shape, all the way through to the back as well. Alright, so that's the idea. If that actually is going to happen, I do not know, but I've placed already one gun here, as you can see, which is a rocket launcher. They're all going to change anyway, so I'm just having them here for the time being to protect this this vessel here. So now let me just see, have I got everything on me? I do. I've made some more blocks as well, so that we survive this part of this episode and I don't have to go and that I don't have to go and go do farming now in the middle of this in the middle of building, which is something, this is purely sort of I want to keep as a building episode. Okay, now I know there is some kind of way, and I don't know if I want to do that or not. What it does is you can have this symmetry set up, and you can set a plane on any of the axes and build on that. But what that will do as well is, so if I build let's say a line here of blocks, it will also build on the other side, on the other side, which I think is good. The only problem is it takes 2 instead of 1 block out of your inventory, which I don't know. I'm trying to keep the farming as low as possible, so I'm probably not going to go that route to do that. But the question now is, how far or how big is that ship going to be? Thinking as well in advance that we're actually going to build it also quite high to a certain extent. I mean, I've seen some ships out there, they're just absolutely amazing. I mean, they are huge, and I could never build ships like that to that. Well, I probably could. I don't know if I would have the patience to hold on to that for that long, but I think the question as well we're having now is this wide enough? So the widest point here, obviously from this end to this end, will be the width of the ship. Is that wide enough, or do we want to make it a little bit wider and draw it out a little bit more? I think personally, I mean, if we look at it now, if we go in here, let's put this on. So we're looking at what? Let's see. Okay, probably best here, which is not too much of a difference. Yeah. So I mean, we're looking from here, from there. So where the crosshair is, all the way to. It's not very practical. Actually, I'm being a little bit stupid, because it would be much better to test it from here. So it will be. Does it now? No. Okay. Doesn't allow me to walk on. So it will be. Plus. Yeah. Okay. Let's go on the outside view. Scroll a little bit. Okay. So it will be from here approximately. Yeah, that's quite big. To there, but then I have to think also that the first, I have to think about that, because the second level and the third level will obviously be a bit smaller, because they're going to go on top of here and on top of each other. So probably best this is to widen this a little bit more. Let's do that. So I have to go to the edges here. Let's turn a little bit down. The way we have to do it is put blocks on this side. It's probably a bit cumbersome, but so hold on a second. Let me think now. We're widening it. So, but yeah, so what we have to do is this. Yeah, that's right. Okay, yeah. Then we would have another, number 7 would be here. Come on, there you go. Yeah. So how many more did I widen it now? Oh, I can count that later. So it's 1, and this is, yeah, that's 1 block, 2 block. Three block. Did I do it 4 blocks? Oh, let me discount. Yeah, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, perfect. So let's do 5. I want to have it nice, because once we've done this, it's going to be hard to take it apart again and having to do that again. So it's 5 blocks. Right. Yeah, I think that's quite nice. Okay, 5 blocks. One. I still have to get used to the controls a little bit. Okay. 1. Ah, there it was. 2. 3. 4. Last one. 5. So what I want to do now as well is just pull this over, so I'm sure, making sure that I'm still actually on point with everything. Yep, perfect. Alright, so that's done. Okay, so we have made it quite right. We might as well start filling it out as well. There's no point of having that gap in there. Sorry if I'm a bit quiet. It's just concentrating. Okay, that should be it. Okay, so that's that. Perfect. This bit here, also, which was the original build, I'm gonna take down as well. So now that lengthwise, this is quite big, I think. So that should give us enough space. Now we need to see how long we make it. Now for that, I am going to use the plane, because I do not want to count the symmetry, because I do not want to count the huge amounts of blocks of length. So I have never done this before, so apologies if it is I think that's how you do it, no? Yeah, okay. So now what should happen now is, if we build 2 here. Let me test this first. It should build 2 on the other side as well. Or a bit more. Yes, perfect. Okay, so now we can do how long we want it. No, I wanted to go down. Still building it again, perfect. Okay, let me just go out to see. Still get used to those controls. Okay, so go a bit further back. Definitely wanted a lot bigger. The sun is a bit annoying. I think that should do it, huh? Because that's quite yeah, I think that should do it. Yeah, I think I'm happy with that. No, don't need this at the moment. I think that looks good. I mean, we can always draw it out even longer if we want to. So what I'm going to do now is, yeah, the back we can always do it differently. So we've got this, which is good. Okay, let's try get this all the way over. Again, if you have tips and tricks of how to do it quicker and so forth, then do let me know. Okay, alright, so that's going to be the length of the ship. We can always make it longer if we feel at the end we do want to have it a little bit longer. And there's one stone out of place, but I think that's quite large. So many out of place. Now, should we start filling it? I think so. Yeah, let's do that. I mean, we haven't got enough stones, definitely not. So that's going to be the bottom part. So let's start filling this. Let's do it jetpack on. It's easy. I'm just going to do it like this for the time being. We haven't got enough anyway, so. Actually, not. Take the jetpack off. It's probably easier. No, what are you doing it there for? I didn't want that. Oh, how annoying is that? I wanted it here. It's a bit cumbersome how I'm doing it, I apologize. I just have to get let's turn this around. Okay. So so jetpack on. Okay, that should be it for here. I'm just trying to find an easier way to do this. It's a bit annoying. No, don't build it there. I wonder how, I don't know, maybe you guys know. Do you know if there's a way of cancelling it once you've pressed the button to not build it? I think this is easy actually. Can we do that? Actually, what I will do, and hopefully this should make it also easy to find the ship. Actually, what I will do, sorry, is gonna put create some more blocks now and get some oxygen as well. Okay, I will need to go like that, do everything, so which reminds me, this here, so this will use it. I am going to look in, by the way, because I know this could potentially be really boring because I'm concentrating, so I'm not talking. I'm not a big talker anyway, so this could be very, very boring for you guys to watch. I am looking into some video editing software so that I can sort of fast forward the speed, the building bit, so you can see me starting it off and then literally just see the end result of it, rather than having to sit through here. I think I can now. Lengthwise, yes, perfect. That's what I wanted to do. Shame that it doesn't. You can't have like a fill rather than just a line. I'm starting to run out. So. Just do this bit here. That's it. I need to run out any minute. Well, not any minute. I'm gonna run out now. So, yeah. Okay. So, yeah, this is one thing I never understood. You put the jack pad off and you fall, which doesn't make sense. You're in space, so I'm not sure why you're falling, but there we go. So yeah, we've run out of all the blocks now. I'm creating some more blocks, which will take some time. What I will do, I mean, we have a good idea the size of the ship now. So let's save this. We have a very good idea of the size, so the length, the width, as you can see here. So it is quite large. It looks a bit boring at the moment, but don't worry. We're going to put all the rings and rings and bells. I think that's the saying. On it once we have the hull of the shape. So the hull of the ship, whereby we can say, okay. Now we have the hull of the sort of, that's going to be the hull of the ship. How are we going to now make it look additionally unique-ish in that sense? So, but I think that's quite good. So what I'm going to do offline, I'm going to complete this, fill this all out so that we have a floor. Also going to probably look at the walls and possibly the ceilings. So I will get oh, by the way, actually, the ceilings wise, I know that last time I think I mentioned it. As you can see, the ceiling here is about what, 5? 1, 2, 3, I think 3 high, but that's going to raise with the additional quarters that we're going to put in. So we're going to go 1 up again, and then that's going to be then, I think, 4 or 5 high. So we should have enough space for hangars for ships to come in, and there could be at least, I mean, really the idea here is to possibly have the hangar opening from here to here, and then have the thrusters possibly there, possibly cannons and so forth, sitting there. So yeah, that's a lot of space for a lot of ships. Maybe we do farming and stuff down here as well, instead of putting it into the people's quarters. So well, anyway, I hope you enjoyed this part of the episode, the building part. As I mentioned, I will switch to play a little bit with a little bit of building, a little bit of building, a little bit of fighting, a little bit of mining and so forth. So yeah, hope you enjoyed it, and I shall see you next time. Thank you very much for watching. Bye.